Frank Wilde, a stylist from Berlin, 59 years old, draws the world's attention to the war in Ukraine, posting daily selfies in yellow and blue.
Hello, Frank. I'm glad to see you in our TV show, Зірковий, шлях in Ukraine.
Hello. Good evening. Good evening to Kiev.
It's so nice to observe your Instagram, the way you post your selfie looks every day in all Ukrainian symbolic colors. That's so inspiring. Thank you for that.
Thank you for seriously. What I'm doing is I take pictures like I always took pictures, like for 10 years in my elevator, and I thank the Ukrainians for being so brave and being so, you cannot imagine what messages I get. It's like, sometimes I go to bed crying because it's so heartfelt and I feel like, I'm just doing a picture, a fashion picture, which is my language, my way to express myself, which I learned. And while families have to leave the countries and the Ukrainian men have to defend our democracy and freedom. And it's, I'm just doing what I'm good at. And if I can, bring a bit of support and visibility into the world, then I'm more than happy for that. And I'm the one who's grateful for that because I get so much love and so much gratitude from your people. It's really touching and it's amazing. It's amazing what the Ukraine is doing.
Thank you for your lovely words. They are so overwhelming. But where do you get that special feeling and support to Ukraine? Do you have some Ukrainian roots or something?
To be honest, no, I don't. I don't have Ukrainian roots, but I've been working in the Ukraine a lot. And when you're a stranger, and I always, in what I'm doing, when I'm working with a production for a commercial or for a film, I always depend on the friendliness and understanding of the people. And I always got, without exception, got accepted in the nicest way. And I always learned that, especially in the last 10 years, maybe even 20 years, I learned how Europe grew together, and how much we can do for each other and bond in friendship, even with language barriers, which is for me the most beautiful thing, And about myself, I've always been political, and being a homosexual man of my generation, I turned 59 2 weeks ago, and I always had to fight for my freedom to live the way I want to live, to love who I want to love, and to express myself, and without taking shit, without being repressed, without having somebody saying that this is against the religion. You have to fight it. And I guess, to be honest, minorities have a different, if they're smart, they have a different approach to that, and they smell when oppression is coming, And for me, it was pretty obvious that the Ukraine is in danger. So when I posted the first elevator pic that has a connection with the Ukraine, I think it was on 19th of February, and I posted a picture of Putin with a black coat, with a Putin mask and a bloody knife, that Putin would start a war. And I remember on German television, I think it was on the 21st, that you still had politicians discussing in television that Putin would never do that. And I was looking at it, I was watching it, and I thought, like, are you turning a blind eye to that danger? It's so obvious that there's something happening. The US was warning about it, and that there were these troops around the frontiers. And he was saying, oh, it's only we're only exercising and whatnot, And And on February 24 was the first day of war, which still, as you know, is not called a war by the Russians, but a special military operation, which is like the most cynical lie that you can think of. And it was like from that day on that I thought, like, because I know how media works, because I've been working in media my whole life long, I thought, like, yeah, and now the world is going like that, which was the case. So like the first 2 or 3 weeks, the Ukraine was the first paid sensation, and there were like live reports from the war zones. And now we see that it gets a bit weaker, and there seems to be other problems, and there's a lot of things that I find really, really, really disgusting. It's like now there's a huge discussion in Germany about like food prices and inflation and all of that. And I think, like, how does this sound to somebody who has to flee his country, leave his family and friends behind, you know, to hear, oh, the bread is getting more expensive? I think it's so out of place, to be honest. I think Europe has a responsibility, and Germany especially has a responsibility deriving directly from World War II. And I know what I'm talking about because my grandfather was working in Hitler's army, and we know how Hitler hurt whole East Europe and Poland and Ukrainians, and the Ukrainians also got hurt by Stalin, you know. And there's a whole bunch of history not long ago with our absolute duty to prevent this to happen again. And this is what Germany swore after World War II. They said never again, you know. And personally for me, I've been working on the main station of Berlin with my friend Ruslan, who's from Romania and who's living at the moment in Copenhagen. And I did this together with him because he speaks fluently Russian, and it made total sense. And we were working there, helping the refugees when they arrive. You help them get tickets, get a new SIM card for the telephone, get a place to stay, get medical supplies and whatnot. And it sometimes, you know, we were trained for that. You know, you can't just do it and go, but yeah, they do, like, no, you can't just help. You're trained to how to deal with the people, you know, and they tell you, you know, these people have been traveling. Some have been traveling 4 or 5 days nonstop. They're traumatized. They had to leave the husbands behind, you know, and they might have had their house bombed. They might have lost relatives and friends. And but don't be too empathetic because they're already sad. So you have to be uplifting. You have to welcome them and tell them, like, it's great that you're here, and look, we're here to help you. We want, yeah, it's a good thing you're here. Don't worry, you're safe, and you can do this and this and this, which surprised me first, but it makes actually total sense, to be honest. And then we learned, like, don't cling too much to the people because there's trains constantly coming. So you actually, I mean, we were a big team, but you actually don't have more than 30 minutes per person to arrange the things. And then they have to move on because there's new people that need your help immediately, you know, and it's kind of heartbreaking, you know, because of course you get attached to the people, and you have like these young women arriving with their baby on the arm, you know, then teenage girls with their cats in a basket and with their dogs. And then you have these really old women in a wheelchair, you know, that, you know, just with a wool scarf around, and who actually are totally lost because They don't. I mean, the young people mostly speak English as well. The elder people not, because why should they speak English? They never had to, you know. And they're probably coming from a small village where there's no need for that, and then they're thrown into a country that's like completely new in a situation that it was actually devastating emotionally also for us, and but yet you have to be like brave, you know. You can't. So when we were done with the shift in the evening, we would often just sit and drink something, just cry, because it's all, you have to let it out, you know. You have to be fit in the morning for the next thing. And it's a human tragedy that's going on, I think. And they're so beautiful people. They're just so beautiful people, and I admire, you know. I never had to flee. I never had to leave my country. I never had to leave anything behind or get my house burned down. I never had to freeze or starve from hunger. And these girls are so brave, yes. They were not like you would think, you know, a refugee arriving like, I don't have anything. They were like, hi, I'm here. And they had attitude, and I love that, you know. And this is also for me a big inspiration, because I think like I tend to be very dramatic, as you can tell from my elevator pics as well, you know, like play it in different emotional notes. But I was so inspired by the bravery and by the pride they have, you know, like this, don't fuck with me. We don't give up. We are proud to be Ukrainian, you know, and I find that great. I feel like I can totally connect to that.
And you have lots of interesting Ukrainian colored clothes in your looks.
Yeah.
Do you especially search for them and get them somewhere?
Yeah, I do. First of all, I buy a lot from charity things. So for the voice of, for the, what was it? I think Voice of Peace or something like that. Sound of Peace concert it was called. They had like doves and blue and yellow, and they I bought for my boyfriend and for me 2 T-shirts, and I always do that. And then I got another one which is, I'm going to show you, which is beautiful. Wait a second, I got it here because I was thinking about it. This is a British designer who made this for Choose Love, which is one of my favorite refugee organizations. I always wear. If you go through my Instagram, you will see that there's a lot of Choose Love T-shirts and different things. It's one of the best refugee helping organizations, and they're huge. And I mean, besides that the whole profit is donated. It's a beautiful item that you want to wear, and it's a beautiful gift you want to wear. You know, as there's a lot of Ukrainian fundraising things that offer beautiful items, and I always say to people, you don't need a shitty piece of clothes that just says like, I can afford it. It's worth nothing. You know, if fashion doesn't have a meaning or background, it's senseless. That's I mean, that's my view on things. And I'm very shallow. I love beautiful things. It's not like that, you know. I don't want to shame that, but I think fashion is a way to express yourself, and it's a way to send a message. And I think it should not be underrated. The world will think slowly, or will make itself think slowly, that the war is not happening anymore, and it's like not so important. And I think we can't let that happen. I mean, in all seriousness, we can't let that happen. And I think the Ukrainian must win this war, and pray they will. Seriously, pray they will.
You have a Ukrainian flag behind you, and you are now in Bulgaria, in Sofia. So do you carry it with you elsewhere?
Yeah, I do. I went on set today, and I did beautiful photographs with the models and with guys from production, and you know, and I don't have any problem with it. And I even made what was a bit risky. This morning I went to the Russian church here, the Nicholas Church, which and this I know as a fact, because my friend's been serving in the Russian Orthodox Church, and which is spreading war propaganda lies and telling, like, Kirill was a KGB, and he's telling terrible lies, like the Ukraine is, they have to save the Ukraine because the Ukraine is threatened with gay parades.
Yeah.
And you really think, like, what the fuck? I mean, this is pathetic beyond belief, but you know how it is in religion, people believe that and think like, oh, the poor Ukraine, yeah, the gay propaganda, and especially that is for me a reason why I stopped the car this morning when we are going to set, and I recognized the church from the car, and I said, like, I have to make a picture, and I took the flag and put it like this, and was posting it on the Facebook page of the church, and it said, like, pray for Ukraine, support Ukraine, stop Putin. It was there on the fucking page for 15 minutes. And then somebody realized, like, oh, and took it off, because Facebook happens that way. They put it on, and I posted my Insta story, so you can see me like a patriarch, in front of the fucking Russian war church.
Did you have any messages about that? You have those photos in that Russian Orthodox clothing. Did you have some haters' feedbacks or?
Funny enough, I think in total, I can't read all the messages because that would be like 24 hours. I can't answer all the messages that I get sent. It's like, and then like 80% are really beautiful and really like, and but I'm a one-man show. I have to work. I have this. I have my mother to care about. I have this and this and this. So I cannot be 24/7 on Instagram. It's not possible. But I read 2 comments from Russian bots or stupid haters, you always see them. They have an account with 5 followers, no picture, or just 2 pictures of landscapes or something, and then somebody, when I was wearing a dress with something on, he said, like, yeah, you think the Ukraine can defend himself looking like a joke like you, and then they didn't reply. Then he wrote underneath, the Russians will fuck you in the ass. And then I thought, like, okay, and then I commented and said, like, okay, baby, is that a threat or is it a promise? And then he blocked me, he thought, like, that's too much. And I was like, and and the other one was quite civilized. It was just like, what the fuck are you, a clown? And I can live with that. Yeah, I am a clown. If you think so, fine, It was also coming from some Russian account, It's not my aim to insult Russia because I work with beautiful Russian people and I love Russian people. I love Russian music and everything. But there's absolutely no justification for what is going on. And there's I have to put this aside because what we're witnessing right now is a brutal genocide that's going on, and with the aim to erase Ukraine and to erase Ukrainian culture and identity. And there is no but, maybe, I seriously don't understand why my government is still having peace talks with Putin. I don't understand it. They should fucking send weapons, and they should have done it yesterday, not even tomorrow. This is my field trip, and I'm not a politician, thank God. I'm just I'm just a guy who's not afraid to speak his mind. Let's put it like that, and who's a bit experienced with discrimination and stuff, and who learned that you have to defend what you value because nobody else is doing it for you. you know, and that's what I love about the Ukrainians, how brave they are and how proud they are. And I mean, let's see the positive aspect of it, you know. Also, in the last 3 months, I learned more about Ukrainian culture, background, and history than I learned in my whole life about East European politics and culture. And I've been everywhere, and I love all these countries. But now I was forced to really look into what is Ukrainian, when was what done, you know, and this is a big gift. And I mean, now the world knows the flag colors of Ukraine. I mean, how cool is that? If you would have asked me half a year ago, what's the flag of Ukraine? I would have said, like, I don't know. And now the whole world knows, you know. So I think there's always a lot to moan about and be sad about, but I think the main thing I learned in life is let's be positive, let's be focused, and let's be enthusiastic about what we want, not be fearful about what we lose. I think this is of major importance in this situation. And I mean, Kiev has the best mayor, Mr. Klitschko, and I work with the Klitschko brothers for commercial, and they're super sweet people, and they're big. They're really big.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a photograph of me with them, and I'm not small, you know. I'm 1.84 m, but they are like this, and I look like this besides them. It's pathetic, you know.
What did you like in Ukraine the most? What's your favorite places there, which you would like to visit again?
I wanna go there again and go to all the nightclubs because the nightlife is so great. And this I know. I must say I wasn't in Ukraine in the last years, but all my friends, the coolest DJs from Berlin who work in Berghain and all these cool clubs, they all love Kiev. And they all say, like, Kiev is the new Berlin. It's like so wild and so cool and so liberated and everything. And I want to go there. I really want to see that, you know. And that's another reason why. But we will win. We will win.
I noticed you attended the concert in Berlin by Kalush Orchestra, our Eurovision.
Yes.
How was it?
Oh, it was so great. It was so fantastic. It was all Ukrainian superstars. And I'm the biggest fan of Kalush Orchestra. Obviously, you can tell from my head, you know, and they were amazing. It was beautiful and such a great atmosphere, and people were freaking. They were like dancing, and it was really, really, really great. Really great. I can't remember how many there were, but it was huge. The whole thing, the whole venue of Straße des 17. Juni down. They had big screens on, and it was really amazing. I mean, I think that there's hope. I think people realize and people learn about solidarity, and it's always important also to show that. To show it's a good thing to be solidaric for friends. It's a good thing to stick together. And this is also what I feel is Europe about. This is the thought of the European community, that we are friends and help each other. And this is something we had to learn the hard way from World War II. And that it's, I mean, we had such a long time of peace, and now we have this brutal war, and it should not happen. And it's so important that we stick together. No?
Yeah. We appreciate your help a lot. Thank you so much
Oh,
for your support.
thank you for being strong and defending democracy and freedom in Europe. I mean, Europe is watching you, and Europe is proud of you. Stay strong. Stay strong. Okay.
Thank you. And hopefully we'll see you in Kiev soon.
I hope so too. I would love to come. You guys are wonderful, really wonderful. I feel like I have 1,000 friends.